Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. Before we get started on today's recipe, I just wanted to give you a glimpse of my new cookbook. This is available on Amazon, and you would look for Best Recipes with Sharon, Homemade Meals and Appetizers, Made Easy. If you would like to purchase this book, and I hope you do, I have provided a link below this video that will take you directly to where it can be purchased on Amazon. And this is the kind of purchase that keeps on giving. And I would ask that if you have purchased your copy and you're quite happy with it, that you would leave a review on the Amazon page. This would help support the channel and also help with promoting the recipe book on Amazon. Thank you so much in advance. And now let's get back to making today's recipe. And since we're in the Christmas season once again, it wouldn't be complete without doing old-fashioned shortbread cookies. And these have a smooth and melt-in-your-mouth texture. Alright, so let's get right to the recipe. These cookies require a lot of butter, so the best way is probably to buy your butter in sticks like this so that you can measure off how much you need. And if you're doing a recipe that calls for tablespoons, 16 tablespoons equals 1 cup, so it's easier to measure in the sticks, and it has to be at room temperature. If you don't have it at room temperature, you can soften it in the microwave before using it. You'll need 2½ cups of softened butter. Place that in your large mixing bowl. Then measure out 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. It can be regular salt if you don't have kosher. But don't substitute the butter. You need to have butter in shortbread. Next, add 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. I use the paddle attachment on my mixer. And then I whip that together until it's light and creamy. And then add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. It is a rich cookie, so I tend to use rich ingredients. And last but not least is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And once again, use a good quality flour if you have that available. Then mix this all together until the dough starts to cling together. Stop every once in a while and scrape the sides down, and mix again. And I mix it together for a few minutes, making sure that it's well combined. And I add just a little bit of water to make sure that the dough clings together and has the right texture that I want it to be. Now this is optional, but be careful how much water you would put in. You'll only need maybe 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of water, and you'll get it to cling together like this. Now you may not need any water at all, depends on how your dough is coming together, so just a little tip. So you want it to be a nice thick and soft dough like this. And for the purpose of making it easier to handle, half the dough and put it on parchment paper and shape it into a log like this. Roll it up and continue shaping it as you're rolling it to smooth it out. And you do that with both parts of the dough because I said to divide it, and it's only for easier handling that you're dividing it. And you're going to be chilling this in the fridge, and this way it'll fit in the fridge as well. And chill it in the fridge for at least an hour or 2 or overnight. And once it's chilled, remove it from the fridge and just simply slice it. Now I'm slicing it in about 1/2-inch slices. You can do whatever you want, but it does cook through nicely in about 1/2-inch slices. And the end pieces, you can reshape them as well. And when they're on the cookie sheet, I reshape them a little bit with my hands just to make sure they're a little bit more round. Today, I'm using a cookie press as a stencil. It's just to put little decorations on top of them and make it a little bit more festive. And if you decide to do this, you need to just make sure that when you put your sprinkles on your template, that you basically press them down well enough that it comes up as clean as possible. And you'll have better defined lines. There's so many ways that you can decorate these, but the stencils are unlimited. And you don't have to be super fussy. A little bit more fussy with the first colors that you put in this candy cane than the second one because it won't show through anyway. So yeah, just go ahead anyways and give it a try and see what you can come up with. It's actually easier than what you might think. And if you want to tidy it up a little bit, you can use a moist toothpick. It'll pick up some of the sprinkles and move them to where you want it to be. Alright, so let's see how this worked out. Not bad, eh? And if you don't want to do all that, simply put a couple of chocolate chips on the top, or shape them in different shapes and dip half of it in chocolate. There's all kinds of ways you can finish these off. Now it's time to bake them at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. With shortbread, the time is very important. You don't want to overcook them, and they will come out looking pretty pale. They almost look like they did when they went in. They're not meant to be browned up, and they will set more as they cool down. This will create the melt-in-the-mouth texture that we're looking for. So there you have it, today's old-fashioned shortbread cookies. They're a classic over many years. Thanks so much for watching today's episode, and Merry Christmas everyone, and Happy New Year with lots of happy eating. Now go make some cookies.